Welcome back, everyone. Oz here, and today I've got some r/OhNoConsequences. As per usual, I'll be reading you the post, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down in the comments below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Cross-posted from r/Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for liquidating my daughter's college fund to keep our dream house? I, 50 female, lost my husband 4 years ago. I also have a 16-year-old daughter. My late husband left me everything and told me to trust his lawyer. My husband had worked for 20 years as a doctor and did some minor investing, so I inherited over 7 figures. A year later, I decided to list our home of 12 years and received an offer too good to refuse. With the inheritance as well as the influx of cash from selling the house, I decided to move my daughter and I to Malibu because we always dreamed of a home next to the beach. But my husband was exceptionally tight-fisted and called homes there money pits. We found a beautiful home by the sea. I never personally handled anything regarding buying a home before, so I did not anticipate all the extra costs beyond the sticker price. My daughter was so excited, so I decided to go for it. My late husband's lawyer was furious at my decision, so I stopped taking his calls. I ended up signing with a money manager who said that we'd be passively earning 90% of what surgeons earn per year. But the money manager ended up tanking a lot of our investments. I took the dwindling money out and made my own investments, which made it worse. And long story short, because of all of that, I only have around 35K available to me now, not to mention our debts. With the amount available to me, I'm looking at only being able to pay 1 month of a mortgage/upkeep, and then I'm basically out of luck until my business gets clients. However, the place where we do have a significant amount of money is the fund my husband started for our daughter. With the money there, I could prevent our credit cards from being shut down and not have to worry about the mortgage for many more months. So I ended up liquidating my daughter's college fund. I told her about it today as she was furious and said she cannot believe all her dad's work is gone. She also said she won't be supporting me for retirement. Am I the asshole for trying to fix my mistakes and trying to keep our house? God, I just love it when someone on Am I the Asshole rephrases the entire thing as though they're doing a noble deed. Like, you're not trying to fix your mistake and trying to keep your house. You're trying to justify your mistake and you're doubling down on a mistake and trying to keep your house by making more mistakes. By the sounds of it, what your husband left you, you probably had a pretty comfortable parachute just to keep things rolling until your business got more clients. But instead, you jumped the gun. You didn't listen to the lawyer, you trusted a shady investor, and now 7 figures are gone. And your daughter's college fund. Your daughter is right. Everything that her father worked for is gone. There's nothing to show for it. You liquidated it, made poor decisions because you thought you knew better, and there's nothing to show for it. You liquidated your daughter's entire future for a few more months in the Malibu Barbie house. And you have the audacity to phrase that as, am I the asshole for trying to fix my mistakes and trying to keep our house? I would be shocked if your daughter didn't go no contact or limited contact by the end of this. Her already pulling the retirement card is just telling. We've got a best of that's cross-posted to OhNoConsequences. This post was collected by Choice Evidence 1983, and their tagline is, "It dawned on me that he was a wizard." The original OP is OKBison9975, which their account is now deleted. Originally posted to r/Am I the Asshole, July 24th, 2024. I don't want my sister's boyfriend to propose on my wedding day. There's a content warning for entitlement, so I'm curious who's the entitled one. But everyone is against me, and my mom said I was ungrateful because my parents are paying for the wedding. The wedding is on Saturday, and they just told me that last Monday. This was going to be a part of his speech. I said no, so my mom suggested that I would, instead of tossing the bouquet, I would go and give it to her, like on TikTok, and he would propose. I said no. My mom got angry when I still said please no, because this suggestion would be at the end of my party anyway, and wouldn't steal from my party. I'm not good at writing these things, so I'm sorry if I'm leaving out plenty, but I can't stop crying. Am I the asshole? Sometimes I feel that I am, sometimes I feel I am not. I want to stay anonymous, so I will not be answering questions about my location or names. Additional information from OP on growing up with her sister at their parents' house. OP, yes, I have never had a birthday of my own growing up. Always my sister, too, would get a cake and candles and gifts. Then people refused to buy gifts for both, so my parents divided the gifts between us. When I was 12, my aunt was very angry that they gave her gift to my sister instead of me. So next birthday, they hid all the gifts from other people and gave them to me after the party without my sister's knowledge because people refused to share the gifts between us. That was my last birthday that I celebrated until I moved out. I told them I didn't want birthdays nor gifts anymore, just pancakes for breakfast. Relevant comments. User Peanut0027. If I was a woman and my boyfriend proposed to me at my sister's or anyone's wedding, that would be a swift no in front of everyone who matters to him. OP responds, it was something she showed interest in and her boyfriend got the gesture. User RoundRobin959903 comments, wait, your sister wants her boyfriend to propose at your wedding? I mean, I'm already on your side and you're not the asshole. OP responds, that's what I understood from my mom. I asked her why they would even think my sister wants to be proposed to like that, and she said that she has shown and hinted to her boyfriend that she would love that because everyone would witness it. OP on if her sister is younger than her, and if their mother is calling the sister her favorite one. OP responds, she is 3 years younger, yes. No, I have always known she is the favorite, but now they aren't even denying it. User Pale Wishbone 5635 comments, get your husband to say in his speech how pleased he is that his beautiful wife is getting her special day, and anyone planning on spoiling that by announcing babies, proposing, or even just football results can leave now. Then he will look like an asshole if he does it. Also, make sure the bouquet goes anywhere but to your sister, and prime the DJ to switch the mic off if he tries. You need to fight fire with fire. Also, kick them out if they do it. Have security ready. Substantial Agency 2 comments, yeah, not the asshole, just cancel the wedding, waste their money, save, and pay for yourself. Do it your way. OP responds, I can't cancel the wedding. It would be very disrespectful for everyone who took the time and effort to attend. My friends and family, my husband's family. I love these people, you know? Not my mom and my sister's boyfriend very much at the moment, though. OP on if there would be an open mic at the wedding and responds to preventing the proposal from happening. No, but besides the maid of honor and best man and parents, it's a free mic, and I guess my mother would call him up is the plan. We are definitely canceling free mic. Update, August 15th, 2024. New reader, please check my first post. Hi, I'm sorry for not updating earlier. This is my update. My husband and I read all the comments to my post, and I want to thank you for your indignation on our behalf. Then my husband said that this probably would be the reaction everywhere, not only on my post. So we decided them embarrassing themselves was the best punishment. We decided to, well, fuck it. I am marrying my best friend, nothing else matters. I ignored my family for the rest of that week, up until my wedding, and I was busy anyway. I saw them first at my wedding. My mother made her speech, then she asked my, I guess future brother-in-law now, to join her. He proposed, and literally 2 or 3 clapped besides my mother and sister. The rest looked like the meme girl, side-eyeing Chloe. So my husband was right. After the awkwardness, the rest of the evening was amazing. I spent it with my husband and close friends. My sister, fiance, and mom sat sulking for the rest of the night because I don't think anyone went to congratulate them. Mom sent me a text later asking if I sabotaged it. I didn't answer because, leave me alone. I'm on my honeymoon. I don't want drama, but also, I don't care what she believes. I will not explain myself. It is not my problem how little self-awareness they have, that they don't even understand that what they did was actually frowned upon by normal people. Thank you. Relevant comments. Matt Davies. Imagine the memory of your proposal being a group of people just side-eyeing you. No celebration or happiness at all from them. No matter what happens, she'll never be able to change that. Karma, bitch. Jade Chemical Insomnia comments, the wedding guests understood the assignment. Also, on a side note, thank God it was the sister who was the entitled one, because sometimes Reddit can be about 350 short, and that is extremely frustrating. But honestly, even though that they did propose at the wedding and it was shortly stolen, At least the sister, who is the golden child, the center of attention from the beginning of her existence, finally got a taste of reality. And oh my god. She probably thought people would clap and cheer at her sister's wedding for her and make the moment about her. But instead, for the rest of her existence, it'll always be remembered as everyone side-eyeing her and her getting a soft taste of, oh, this is what reality feels like. It seems the mother forgot that, part of the attendance of the wedding was the groom's family, who doesn't know who the fuck that is. And in addition, the other half of the party had to deal with the fact that OP's presents were being given to the golden child who just tried to upstage her own sister's wedding with her proposal. The only person who sabotaged the sister's proposal was the three of them, the people who thought it was a good idea to do that. Which, considering the mother is the one texting OP, that means the sister is very much unhappy with the reaction she got to her bullshit proposal. Cross-posted from r/am I wrong? Am I wrong for saying what I did in 2016 to 2017 doesn't matter now? This was pulled from r/am I the asshole because they don't like workplace conflicts, I guess. I don't think I'm the asshole at this point, even though I absolutely was before. But my company clearly does. I got fired for something I did all that time ago, even though I never did it again. From February 2016 to December 2017, so 2 years, I had an employee who was 26 at the time. He still lived with his mother back then, and he was embarrassed as hell about it. Apparently, he couldn't finish college and was forced to work for us. He started at the bottom, but me and a few others never promoted him. We would actually always lie and say he would get promoted if he just kept working harder, and we admittedly laughed at this whole thing. He was trying to get promoted for an entire year and a half, and he looked depressed over where he was, but I kept him there just out of spite. Another thing is that there were other people who I would have rather promoted because nobody wanted his role. It would have been way too hard to find anyone willing to do that for so long, for such horrible pay. I admit, I was horrible and immature back then. Recently, my own boss found very old online posts talking about his time there. Someone else posted about it and even said, I can see why he fucking hated being there. I guess the big boss realized it was me who did all that because I was there back then. I tried explaining how long ago 2016 to 2017 was, how I'm different now, and how I never did it again. But they didn't care, and I was fired today. Am I the asshole? Hands down, the best comment on the original post is from Unlikely Growth 1800. And it's just simply, love this for you, heart emoji. See, the thing is, your boss has no idea if this was a one-time thing. Because here's the thing, for 2 years, from the beginning of 2016 to the end of 2017, for no reason except for just random spite, you held back someone who is down on their luck from being promoted, making their life a living hell. Just because, hee hee, ha ha, it's funny, hilarious, ha ha, we laughed about the whole thing the whole way there. The only reason why this was uncovered was because your boss found posts about it online and put 1 and 2 together. How does he know you haven't done this to other employees? How does he know that you haven't given the company a bad name with new hires because of your bullshit excuse and doing this to random people just out of spite? He doesn't. You claim that you're more mature now, but you're not even willing to take accountability for it. You seem to think that just because time has passed, it absolves you of any kind of actions previously. It doesn't. Did you ever make amends? Did you ever do something to make up for your shitty behavior? Did you even try to become better in ways that's not just not doing it again? Because you actively harmed and made someone's life worse out of sheer spite. For no reason. Why did you do this to this random person? Someone, might I add, who was down on their luck, who was struggling, who was dealing with the fact that he had to live with his mother at 26, wasn't able to finish college, and was literally stuck in a position where he had to work for you guys. And what did you do? You fucking kicked him while he was down. You're a tumor who deserved to be removed from your company, even if it was a decade ago at this point in time. Because again, there is no way to know if you've done this to more people. There is no way to know if it was only just this person. There is no way to know. if you have actually grown or not. This is just the one that hit the limelight and you're facing consequences for. The one that you're willing to talk about. The one that at the time you apparently found oh so hilarious. If someone decided to grab an aluminum bat and break someone's legs with them, inverting their kneecaps so they couldn't walk for years. And the response was, dude, that was a decade ago. Get over it. I don't think I'm the asshole anymore. The general response would be, motherfucker, you never apologized. You never even had any remorse. You found it to be funny at the time and just decided that after 10 years, it just magically erases what happened? No! I struggled because you inverted my kneecaps with your bat, you bastard. But the thing is, the aluminum bat comparison doesn't even properly compare, because the aluminum bat happened once. For 2 years, you decided to maintain this behavior out of spite and personal hilarity. That's on you. Enjoy living with your consequences. So while editing and collecting screenshots, I stumbled upon this comment from the OP to this post. JazzBaby25 asks, yes, you're wrong, and you still haven't learned not to post your wrongdoings on the internet. Ha. OP then responds, no, someone else posted about it. It was a young girl who the guy I messed with hated working besides due to the age gap. We all forced him to work with her. So yeah, spiteful, purposeful, and definitely not just one instance of him doing this. We've got another one that was sourced outside of OhNoConsequences by yours truly from Best Of. This post was collected by Choice Evidence 1983, and their tagline is, it dawned on me that he was a wizard. The original OP was Realistic Male 9426, posted to r/true off my chest, February 8th, 2026. A recent one. I told my brother's ex that he proposed to her best friend despite her, and I don't regret it. My, male 24, brother, male 30, and his ex, female 31, were together for 12 years. Everything was great until the topic of marriage and starting a family started becoming an issue, and my brother finally told the ex that he was not planning to propose. I guess the ex thought it wasn't enough for her anymore and she broke up with him. My brother said he never believed in marriage, but that didn't mean their relationship couldn't be as serious or meaningful. Her leaving him broke him completely because I think both still loved each other. This happened in October. 2 weekends ago, my brother made an announcement that he was engaged. The woman is the ex's best friend. I didn't even know my brother was in a relationship, let alone serious enough to be engaged. I can't relay the distress and sadness the ex felt. All I know is that she was in the hospital. My brother didn't seem very bothered, flaunting his new relationship everywhere. His ex is like a big sister to me, and she helped me through hard times. She and my brother. When I talked to my brother's best friend, I found out that he did it to hurt her in what she wanted the most. He showed me his texts. I was repulsed, to be honest, by how immature he's treating relationships and marriage, even though I'm not a religious man. When I told my sister, female 32, she told me to stay out of it, and she told my mother of my plans. My mother said that I should stay out of it too. But I want to tell the ex and show her the texts. I hate seeing her like that, and I only met her once since the breakup at the hospital, and while she acted respectful and gracious, she really believed she lacked something because she asked, why not her? Anyway, I've spoken to her now and didn't listen to my family. My girlfriend, my brother's best friend, and I went to eat dinner at her parents' house where she's living now. We are the only ones on the same side with my family against it, and my dad not caring either way. I told her everything, and as I expected, she was skeptical at first, so my brother's best friend showed her the texts. She looked distant and shocked, and then she said that she didn't know he hated her so much to do something like this. I told her I don't think it's hate. He's distraught and his pride hurts since she broke up with him. She didn't say much, but thanked us and admitted that she was going mad with thoughts. Yesterday, she texted me and my girlfriend to thank us. She said when we told her the truth, she felt even more in despair. But having time to reflect on it, she could finally get that it wasn't her and that she truly believes that this will help her in her healing journey. I called her, and we talked for an hour. She promised that she will never tell anyone about us telling her the truth, that she only needed this information for herself and her own healing. I thanked her for that. She's moving away because she's found a new job and wanted a new start. She assured me that this decision had nothing to do with me telling her, but it was something she's been contemplating since the breakup. I immediately thought about my brother and how he would take news like these. I had dinner with him today and I told him that she was moving away. I thought he would hear it soon, so rather it came from me in case he wanted to rage and be upset rather than from strangers. He didn't react, but he didn't say much afterwards either. He looked defeated. We just sat there drinking. I feel very sad for him and I hope he feels better soon. I know people will accuse me of interfering and not siding with my family, but I don't regret anything. Editor's note, OP made a similar, now deleted post onto a different subreddit. I am adding comments from that post/sub for more context. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Oh my gosh, my dear. You know what's right in your heart, and I think you should actually absolutely tell her. A, I don't think the fallout is going to be as bad as people are saying it is, and B, she truly deserves to know. Good for you. I would give everyone some space after you let her know, and maybe ask that she don't say anything to your brother for quite a while, but I think it'll help her heal. Your brother lacks a level of maturity that is outright destructive, and I hope he gets better someday, but if he doesn't, just keep doing the right thing. OP responds, I don't think they'll be together again, and that's not my intention either, but this is so wrong. Thanks for the advice. I haven't thought about it. If I know her well, she will respect that I want it to stay a secret. I just think she'll move on from a better place, and I think she deserves that. Commenter 2. Of course, tell your big sister the truth. Your brother is extremely cruel. Fuck him, fuck your sister, fuck your mom. Do the right thing, not the asshole. OP responds, I believe it will help her build her confidence again. She looked shell-shocked when we visited her at the hospital. I am disappointed in my mom. Commenter 3. This makes no sense to me. Your brother didn't want to get married. His ex did want to get married, so they broke up, but now he's marrying someone else to spite her for breaking up with him because she wanted to get married? Did I get that straight? OP responds, not sure if he's going through with it, but he's that vindictive. Yes. OP on the ages of his brother and the ex. OP. Both are born 1995. My brother will be 31 in 6 weeks. Ex just turned 31. What a birthday present she received. I didn't even remember that until now, for fuck's sake. Commenter 4. Sounds like your brother proper played himself there. What a mess. Using marriage as a weapon when you don't even believe in it is mental. Especially with her best friend. OP responds, yeah, he really messed up. Commenter 5. Sounds like your brother pulled that stunt thinking it would get her to come crawling back to him, because if he was willing to marry someone else, maybe, just maybe, he'd take her back if she begged enough, especially if she said she'd give up getting married to be with him again. Only to find out that his plan, even if he doesn't know that you told her the truth about why he did it, only solidified her never coming back to him. OP responds, she was never going back to him, even if I didn't tell her. Update, February 11th, 2026, 3 days later. So, some of you are asking me for an update. I don't have a lot to offer more than some details from my brother. By the way, I have told him that I have shared his story here, and he doesn't care. My girlfriend is away on a skiing trip, so my brother sent me a text asking me if he could stay with me for a little bit. I said yes. He doesn't want to talk, he only wants to play video games and drink beer. When I asked, he said everything's under control, and that he just took the week off. Then he got drunk, and he told me that he went to his ex to beg her to forgive him, and he tried to propose to her. He didn't want to say more, but he looks shell-shocked, like he didn't really understand the severity of what he did. He just said, she's actually moving away. So yeah, he's drunk and playing video games, but he promised he only needed this week, and that he will get over it and move on. This is my update. It is very lame. I am sorry, but hopefully my DMs cool off. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Yeah, karma. He deserved everything it got. I hope he uses this to make himself a better person, and that if he truly doesn't want to get married, he needs to be upfront about it to whoever he dates in the future. OP responds, yeah, I don't think neither of them talked about marriage up front when they were 18. Commenter 2. That's understandable, but they would have had those discussions along the way, and they clearly did as she left when he didn't want marriage. No self-respecting woman would then want to be with a man who gives her a shut-up ring, let alone a man who proposes to her ex-best friend forever to hurt her. OP responds, yeah, he slept with the friend too, so it's not only a ring. Commenter 3. I'm also curious as to why the ex's best friend hated her so much as to get engaged to your brother. OP responds, yeah, not sure. My brother is kind of rich, on his path at least. I'm not sure I know the relationship between the girls other than they always were together. Commenter 4. Your brother needs mental help. Yeah, as soon as possible. He says he just needed time off work, and I guess he's spending it here. I mean, your brother is getting exactly what he asked for, and what he deserves, honestly. I actually think that one commenter was right on the money, that the whole proposal shtick was just to see if, maybe, she would take him back or come crawling to him, that the proposal was a way to see if he could fish her back towards him. I was just thinking he was being a vindictive, spiteful bastard who thought like, yeah, let me just cause as much pain as possible because hee ha ha. But nope, turns out he was actually trying to get her back in probably the dumbest fucking way possible. Like Buddy spelled out to her, I will never want you and you were never good enough, and then came crawling to her front door in desperation of, please take me back. That's on you, buddy. I honestly don't really know what else to tell you. Have fun getting drunk at your brother's place over the week, I guess. I wonder if he's actually gonna go through and marry the best friend. That's just a recipe for a fucking train wreck. We've got a post that I gathered to fit the theme of the subreddit. It's of course a best of that was collected by Choice Evidence 1983, and their tagline is, it dawned on me that he was a wizard. The original OP is Tearwolf, posted to r/mytheasshole, April 27th, 2025. Am I the asshole for telling my dad that's not going to happen when he joked about hitting me? So I, 29 male, live with my dad, 50 male, because of his diabetes, injured back, and heart problems. My dad is really an old school type, hood dude, but also thinks of himself as a funny guy and a wise mentor. At one point, he called me into his room so I could take some trash out for him. Now, for context, I suffer from achalasia, and have recently healed after a 1.5 year long recovery from an esophagectomy. I'm stronger, gained weight and muscle, and feeling good about myself. As an editor's note, achalasia is a swallowing condition affecting the esophagus. I am also sorry if I am pronouncing achalasia wrong because I am getting multiple different pronunciation guides, and it's not helping. From achalasia to achalasia to achalasia, so I chose the one that made the most sense. He notices and says I look good and must get back into self-defense. I'm like, yeah, cool, alright. We joke about how I used to be thin as a rail, but he's like, even with you gaining all this weight, you need to get back to the gym. How you gonna stop me from chopping you in the throat? And I'm still laughing and say, that's not gonna happen. And man gets mad at me, like, jokes and laughter stop, and he goes, what did you just say? Like I insulted him. I'm sitting there blinking, and he's like, don't you disrespect me like that. Don't you know I used to knock 6'4" and 6'5" dudes out? So I try to walk away, and he stops me and tells me to apologize to him. And I say no, because it was a dumb joke and not meant to offend him in any way. He says it doesn't matter if I meant to offend him. It hit his soul wrong, and offense was taken. So as a man, I should apologize to keep the peace. I'm so tired. Am I the asshole for my response and for refusing to apologize? Am I the asshole has no consensus bot, but OP was not the asshole. Relevant/top comments. Downvoted commenter. My opinion, you're the asshole. You're bantering with your father, all is fun. Then, to me, it sounded as if you were declaring dominance at that moment. You don't have to win all the battles, especially with your father. You're living in his house and could have easily taken a secondary position to him. It's his home. He raised you. There's nothing wrong with building him up and letting him know that he's king of his castle, and you will always have his back. And also say that you trust that he will always have your back. Mutual respect. Show him respect, hug him, and apologize. He may apologize back. Then take him for an ice cream cone. Even if you could take your father in a fight. That's your secret. Be a man. Take that secret to your grave. OP responds, it's my house. I was the one who got it from my uncle when he moved to Alaska, and most of the bills, lights, gas, utilities, are in my name, while he pays cable and internet. The downvoted commenter continues, while you two were bantering, did you feel that his comment about the throat block was actually an attack? Where you had to stand up for yourself? Maybe I'm missing the emotions behind some of this. OP responds, I was literally just bantering back, just a casual, haha, that's not gonna happen. Because it's not in objective reality. It wasn't meant as a standing up for myself or anything other than continuing the joke he made. Commenter 1. Dad, I understand you're having a bad day, but I'm not your punching bag. No matter what he says, just say that over and over again. If you have to say it 25 times in a row, do it. He'll grow tired of it and give up before you do. Commenter 2. Tell him that his comment about assaulting you wasn't funny and he needs to apologize to you first, not the asshole. Commenter 3. Not the asshole, your dad is getting old and frail and trying to remain top dog. He was overly aggressive in saying he'd chop you in the throat. Tell your father that he'll be taking care of himself if he's going to be nasty to you. Threatening you with physical violence probably hit your soul wrong too. Diabetes, back pain, and heart problems shouldn't prevent him from emptying his own trash. Update, February 10th, 2026, nearly 10 months later. Am I the asshole for telling my dad that's not going to happen when he joked about hitting me? An update. So it's been 10 months since the events seen here. Link to post. And I took a lot of advice and thought about what all of you said, and a lot on my past with my dad. The verbal abuse since I was 15, long before his illness. Some examples. When I was 19, he woke me out of my sleep for it and lectured me, and went on a pity party for so long. My legs gave out and I ate carpet, like it was literally an hour of, oh, my parents didn't raise me, I feel disrespected when you talk back. Blah, blah, blah. He also fucking threatened me, saying it's taking everything for me to not hit you when you disrespect me. Or when I was sleeping in because I had a late night job and my dad woke me up 3 times, and on the last one, at around 11, after waking me up at 7 a.m. and 9, he asked why I was still asleep, and when I pointed out he keeps waking me up, he goes, well, you need to be up. What if you had an early morning job like me? Or telling me I need to toughen up because if I went to jail, I'd be SA'd. Mind you, I'm an introvert who literally avoids going outside and very specifically didn't hang around gangs when I did live in the hood, so what the fuck? Or saying his screaming and ranting and all that was supposed to prepare me for the world. That if I couldn't take him doing it, how could I deal with a boss or partner doing it? Or, do you know how insulting it is to me for you to walk around here not taking care of yourself? You look like me but with a perfect body while I got this spare tire. When I have surgery scars, depression, and a history of achalasia. And it wasn't just me. He doesn't want his wife being friends with his friends and forces her to be on video call with him when she's at work and when she's asleep. This is a man who hates my grandma's best friend for being opinionated and once broke down crying in her car because I don't like bothering nobody. When she had to take him to the doctor because he was too dumb to realize, hey, if they anesthetize me to clean out the plaque in my veins, I may need a ride home as they legally can't release you. He also doesn't like people doing him favors because now he owes them. And when others told him to treat me better or treat other people better, he'd tell them women don't know how to raise a man if the speaker was a woman. Or tell men not to tell him, doesn't come with a manual, anything except changing. So I sat there and I thought about all that. And I packed my stuff and I got someone else to take care of him. And I left. I moved out. Currently live halfway across the country in another state. Went low and no contact with him. Got a therapist. Went back into education for my job. Trying to unlearn all of this venom. And now that I've blocked him on most media, he's angsting. I don't know what I did. Parenting doesn't come with a manual. I did the best I could. And my family wants me to at least make some concessions and soften the blows because no one wants to feel like they failed. But my therapist tells me that it's my right to draw boundaries. Well, that's my update. Out of the situation, still alive, still healing. Thanks for reading this ramble. Relevant/top comments. Commenter 1. Yikes. I wonder if your dad has a psychiatric disorder like borderline personality disorder or maybe bipolar disorder. Sadly, enablers allow an abuser to keep abusing them rather than drawing boundaries to stop it. These enablers put the burden on the victim to keep suffering. It sounds like you're really doing what you need to heal and reclaim your life. Don't feel guilty about keeping a distance from him, and tell his enablers, stop being more worried about my abuser's feelings than my feelings. Stop making excuses for him. If he doesn't know what he did, he's not gonna figure it out. Apologize and change at this point. OP responds, I have bipolar, so it's possible, as it does run in the family. Commenter 2. I'm so happy you're out of that toxic stew. Don't listen to the people trying to pull you back into it. I'm proud of you. Commenter 3. You know what? Good on you. That's quite the solid spine you got now. Keep it that way. Commenter 4. I always laugh at parenting doesn't come with a manual. Mao. Yes, it does. There are books all over the place. There are parenting classes. Sure, some of them are shit, but don't pretend there's nothing. Good for you, OP. Glad you escaped. Imagine having esophagus surgery and also having a condition that makes your esophagus not really work at all. And then your father threatens to karate chop you in the throat, and some fuck-ass on Reddit is like, well, it's his house. He's the king of the castle. You should really just allow him to have that play banter with you. All OP said was that, nah, you wouldn't be able to chop me in the throat. I'd stop you. And then he's like, that hurt my soul saying that you wouldn't let me chop you in the throat. You need to apologize. And then some fuck-ass on Reddit is agreeing with him. It doesn't matter how many times he's hurt your feelings or hurt you or made your life a living hell. What matters is that you soften the blows so that way he doesn't feel like a failure after all the shit he's done. Gotta love some missing reasons in real time here. So this is a OhNoConsequences cross-post from r/best of Redditor updates, by Shark Ava, with their tagline, no sex tonight, just had 50 justice orders. But this one's unique, as this isn't a post per se, but a comment thread from a post, on a post that is now deleted. That post was titled, My wife told me I'm replaceable. The comment was left January 28th, 2024, by user Pretty Pandemonium. My husband once said to me, wives are replaceable, mothers are not. Mom will always win. Within the year, our 9-year marriage collapsed. The context was finding out how deeply involved his mother was in our marriage, arguments, decisions, etc. We were not arguing, but having a discussion about how it wasn't right to basically have a third person in the marriage, that it was between the two of us. He vehemently disagreed and made that statement, basically stating that it was he and his mom against me and I'd always lose. It was like a gut punch. It opened my eyes to a lot of little things that eventually led to filing for divorce. He was stunned. As a petty move, I served his mother the divorce papers at the same time so she could be involved in the divorce, lol. $50 well spent in my opinion. She came to our hearing and was so vocal about what she thought was right or wrong that the judge ordered her out of the courtroom, lol. Comments. Life is pretty freaking sweet, but it did take a while to get there. Divorce is hard, no matter how much it needs to happen. User Barty B responds, Jesus, sounds like a giant mama's boy. Nothing wrong with being close to parents/family, but this is some codependency shit. I'm surprised you never saw any signs early in the relationship. OP responds, I did not. His mom was overseas for 2 years when I met him. When we got married, I'd met her 4 times, since she traveled all the time. She was newly retired and ready to see the world, which I thought was very cool. I really liked her as a mother-in-law, thought she was interesting and fun to chat with or visit. About 2 years before our split, things changed. She lived on the opposite coast from us, so we weren't seeing her but twice a year. But all of a sudden, it was, my mom said, and my mom thinks, all the time. When he was using her opinion on things too, such as when we went to buy a car, I was hearing, Mom researched this one and says, Mom said that dealership has bad reviews. And I'm thinking, why is Mom a part of so many of our conversations? And how does Mom know about this? You heard how it all ended, lol, but no, not really. It wasn't until about 2 or so years towards the end that they got this weird thing going. User The Other Dimension. How funny that his mother wanted so badly to be enmeshed with her son's life, but now that he's so close, he's living with her, she's miserable, lol. She dug her own grave by making him so dependent on her. OP responds, Agreed, it's a weird relationship. They don't seem to really enjoy each other's company, and yet it's been years now and still sharing a house. I have no idea why he hasn't moved out if they aren't getting along, and I don't care. User Lobani username responds, "What an idiot. Everyone knows you take sides with your partner. Everyone except for him, apparently." OP responds, "Yup, there's that whole biblical thing, for those into that says something about leaving your mother and your father to cleave onto your wife." User Audacity79 further comments, "Same, X-Hub would tattle to mommy if there was a scuff on the floor, though he did nothing to help. X-Hub's is now her problem as well." And OP further responds, "Boom, problem solved. You go, girl." Additional comment 1 day later. "It was interesting. First, she actually thanked me for serving her the papers, LOL. That was totally a bitch move on my part, but she called to say thank you, so she'd know what was what in the divorce. I didn't serve her anything else, just the initial summons. In the courtroom, she told the judge she'd been subpoenaed to testify, LOL. That's how she saw it. But she also kept telling the judge he had the law wrong, loudly declaring things unfair. Interrupted court personnel, wanted her name and address on the file for further notifications from the court, and so on. The judge finally called her and was exquisitely sarcastic. It's been a long time, so I don't remember the exact words, but it was along the lines of, 'Ma'am, while it is obvious to myself and the other members of the court that you have a vested interest in the outcome of this dissolution, and a vague understanding of courtroom procedure, your knowledge of the law is sorely lacking, along with your ability to show respect. At this time, I'm asking the bailiff to escort you to the bench outside the doors, and if we are in need of your legal knowledge, we shall call for your assistance.' Like I said, I don't remember the exact words, but that isn't far off, LMAO. It took me a minute to realize what had happened because the judge was so courteous, respectful, with his voice sounding as if she meant everything to him, while telling her to get the fuck out. I wish I had mad skills like that, LOL. Another additional comment, another day later. There is more in the thread. I do relate the courtroom, the judge removing her. On Reddit, you never know what is going to grab people. I'm so surprised at the responses to this long ago event. I never expected this much response. You can write a well-thought-out, articulate comment and nothing. Dash off a little memory sparkled by the word replaceable and... wow. Honestly, I'm not really up to date on how they're doing. Through word of mouth, I know they still live together, even moved to Florida at some point. I know she's very unhappy about it, and that just makes me giddy sometimes, LOL. I really liked her as a mother-in-law until this started, but she brought this on. Everyone is saying he was a mama's boy, but he really wasn't. She lived in Germany for the first 2 years of our marriage, and even when she came back to the US, we only saw her twice a year. We'd call her every few weeks to see how she was doing since she was getting older, and that was it. And for some reason, he got mommy fever and started involving her in everything. Until I saw the phone line was open so she could hear everything we were discussing. I'm rambling, LOL. Sorry, I'm really tired. But yeah, keep reading the thread. You'll see how it went down in court. Have a terrific week. I'm off to sleep. In the comments of the best of, there's a comment from Sharks, to be honest. Didn't OP also say that they were once having an argument and he walked away for a second, only for her to realize his mom was on speakerphone, face down on the table so she could give her thoughts? Edit? Yeah, they were. In the original comment, OP says they were having a discussion about finances and she realized his mom was on the phone, silently listening. User Jack Frost responds further, not to mention that when OP noticed and hung up the call, his mother called back. So apparently an edit escaped the best of update, and the missing context from the original comment goes as follows. The context was finding out how deeply involved his mother was in our marriage. Arguments, decisions, etc. We were not arguing, but having a discussion about how it wasn't right to basically have a third person in the marriage, that it was between the two of us. The way I found out was during a discussion about investments we had made. I got up from the table we were talking at and found his phone on the counter with Mom showing on the screen. He'd called her and had her listen in to our discussion so he could take it to her after we were done. I disconnected the call without comment, and she called back immediately. He vehemently disagreed that it wasn't right and made that statement to me, basically stating that it was he and his mom against me and I'd always lose, while she was still on the phone listening in. It was like a gut punch. it opened my eyes to a lot of little things that eventually led for filing for divorce. He was stunned. His mom called me immediately and said, "You can't do that." Well, yes, I can. And did. Because of the nature of this being a comment on a post, the organization is a bit, well, all over the place, unfortunately, causing some things to be left out, but I thought this was at least interesting enough to, include here and definitely fit the bill. What a disaster of a husband. I can't even imagine being in a marriage with someone for 9 years and just watching them regress and now rely on mommy dearest for all of their important decisions. Ugh. My guess would be is it probably started with her taking his side on one thing and then he kept coming to her for advice and eventually it just became, "It's mom and I versus you." Well, to my surprise, you guys really seem to enjoy the more rambly outros, so maybe that might just be a staple of the channel from here on out. We'll see. Still got to do the sponsor segment here and remind you all that this channel is sponsored by GamerSupps, or more of partnered with GamerSupps. Use code OZ at checkout. Today I was drinking Sweet Six-Pack while recording this one. Big recommendation. It's kind of like a... well, not kind of. It's cherry and pineapple. It's pretty good. They have caffeine-free and caffeine versions, so if you don't want caffeine, you got that. As for a soft update for the Gunpla building streams, I'm still working on the room for that. It's almost complete. Just gotta get internet wired into there and figure out what kind of computer I'm gonna use for streaming. Might be an old laptop until I can afford a replacement. Plus, of course, getting audio equipment and camera and all that kind of stuff set up and figuring out how that's gonna run. So it's probably gonna be maybe first week of April, hopefully, and we'll do some Gunpla streams and painting streams, and I'll paint Warhammer and build Warhammer and do, God knows what, honestly, just whatever I feel like. Arts and crafts and hobbies with Oz. And those streams will be hosted on probably the gaming channel, so we'll see how that all unrolls and ends up going, but for now, that's where we're at, that's what I'm working on, and I really hope that's something that you guys will enjoy. Those streams will be kept public, so it'll just be additional Oz background noise, more of me yapping, non-stop. You won't be able to escape it. Anyways, I'll catch y'all next time.